Welcome to the world of Terraria, a land full of mystery and wonder, with much of its destiny left up to the wildest imaginations. However, a few legends of old have made their way to our present time, passed down by countless generations of the Order of the Guide. These few scraps of information will serve to help you navigate your journey and overcome threats lurking in the shadows. This knowledge is now passed on to you, the brave adventurer, with the hope that it will aid you in your quest to save our world. In the beginning, the gods established a balance to guarantee fairness for all living creatures. This balance was to be of paramount importance, with no cost to creating seeking fulfillment. Eons have passed since the gods first began testing the complexities of their life in their fairness experiment. In this process, countless living worlds were created and now exist within the Terraria universe. Each world of Terraria is a sentient being that knows all that goes on and can feel the thoughts of all living creatures, with their sole purpose of being to ensure to desire balance and maintain it, often violently so. The worlds utilize many defense mechanisms to ensure balance in the upheld at all costs. Some of them are known as the Hollow, Corruption, and Crimson. The Crimson. The Crimson is a single emergent living being connected directly to each world, sharing a hive mind, solely focusing restoring balance at all costs. Thousands of worlds before the one on which you stand by now have been absorbed by this being. Many misguided people have made the horrific mistake of raising the Crimson to the level of a deity, conducting human sacrifices to it to placate the monstrosity or seek its favor. The Crimson godly consumes these bodies, become one with them, and producing terrifying beings, all who lose the ability to feel, blindly following the hiving mind. The Corruption. The Corruption is a cancer caused by the sins of those living in the world of Terraria. The vile actions and thoughts present in all beings feed the growth of the corruption, as it spreads relentlessly across each world. The corruption knows nothing else but to consume everything it touches, leaving behind terrible creatures of hate that exist for the sole reason to cause pain and punishment for the unearned pleasure experienced by living things. After the corruption restores balance to life, it destroys with the goal of turning the world into a desolate abyss, void of life. The Hollow. The Hollow, on the other hand, is an entirely different nature. Within each world is a guardian, who serves as the world's master and core. Once this creature is destroyed, the world will release the ancient spirits of light and dark to expedite the process of finding a new guardian. It is here when the Hollow is created and functions as an overcompensation of purity, taken to the absolute extreme. The Hollow cures threats that would attempt to violate the critical balance of life, killing anything in its path as though it were treated as an infection, whether friendly, foe, or neutral party. Ultimately, the Hollow serves to push back against the never-ceasing encroachment of control. It is against the backdrop of this new precious balance of life, desolation and pain that the great battles of legend and the adventures of our own time take place. In the blind spot of the universe, there exists a planet of unprecedented potential, your world. Your story begins with Kutalu, a creature of immeasurable power and unknown origin, who arrived a long time ago with its seemingly sole purpose being to rain destruction on and to have domination over all the sentient life that flourishes on your world. None could stand against the advances of Kutalu. The very fabric of Terraria itself seemed on the precipice of doom. At last, when all hope seemed lost, the ancient race of Dryads arose to wage battle against Kutalu. The Dryads, with their unparalleled connection to the planet, were Terraria's truly last hope, as they joined together to save our life from annihilation. The Dryads were alas unable to kill Kutalu. However, with the Dryads' combined power, they were able to cripple Kutalu's ability to wreak further damage on Terraria. By ripping out Kutalu's eyes, part of its skeleton, and chunks of its brain. Ultimately, this substantial damage forced Kutalu to retreat to the dark side of the moon, where it dwelled to this day, gathering strength for another attempt at total conquest. As for the Dryads, sadly, all but a single member perished, and the sole survivor has not been seen for many years. Much time has passed since the Great War of Cthulhu. However, rumors tell that a lunatic cult led by a fanatical zealot that is methodically seeking to revive Cthulhu for its former power and bring about the end of the world. As part of these efforts, a now genius, known simply as the Mechanic, has been kidnapped and forced to rebuild parts needed to make Cthulhu once again. Hushed whispers tell of a result of these experiments, horrible mechanical simulacrums of Cthulhu's organs. The Mechanic has nearly completed her work, only needed to finish the mechanical brain to restore Cthulhu to its full destructive power. Passing travelers hear construction and screams emanating from the dungeon, an evil demonic fortress of the dead in which the Mechanic is supposedly held prisoner as she conducts her work. Many across Terraria have fallen under the possession of the cult, including the benevolent old man who oversees the dungeon, a once thriving city full of life until a curse forced all its inhabitants to go mad, living beyond the point where their bodies rotted away and they became mindless undead servants of evil. Without some intervention, some force of strength, this tide, some hero to save the day Terraria's doom is nigh at hand. This brings us to our adventure. It begins with you. In humble beginnings, show your path by the faith and mysterious guide. As this world's champion, you experience communications from the world to help protect your mission. The world has brought you to this specific location at this specific time. We will stand up and fight for Terraria against the growing shadows of impending doom.